Okay, as promised, I will be finishing up the shrug. So this is part 2. We're going to take the 2 ends here and we are going to get a pin, and I'm just going to turn this on the opposite side because I will be sewing this, and I'm just going to pin it together. And I'm going to pin to my 3rd stitch, 6th stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you want to make sure you line up your stitch so they're even. Okay, then I'm going to turn it on the opposite side because I will be sewing it this way. I'm going to turn the other side and I will be doing the same thing. Okay, I'm going to turn it over like this, and I will be joining them with my pin. These are safety pins, so I'll join it here, seeing I have to sew the very edge of this. And I'm going to take my other safety pin and I'm going to count to my 6th set of stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You want to make sure that you line them up properly. So we're going to look at both sides. And there we go. Okay, so now we're ready to sew. Okay, so we're going to take our yarn needle and we string it. Okay, and we're going to create a knot at the very end, and I will be sewing this. So as you can see, I have it on the opposite side, and I'm gonna go into my very first stitch here and my very first stitch here. Okay, so this is what you should have. See, as you can see, the edge looks like this, Okay, and the other one looks the same. So what I'm gonna do now is I will be crocheting some more onto the very edge. Okay, so for the edge of the shrug, I will be using a 4.0 millimeter crochet needle, and I'm gonna go where I sewed the sleeves together, and I'm gonna make a total of 3 chains. I'm gonna go back in the same stitch. I'm gonna go into my next stitch over, and I'm gonna go back in the same stitch in the next stitch over, back in the same stitch in the next stitch over, and I will continue. I don't know how many rounds of this I will make, but I will stop to figure it out. I'm just gonna keep going. As you can see, this stitch is quite easy and repetitive, so if you're a beginner, this one is for you. So I will go all the way around in my sleeve with the same stitch, and I will be finishing the edge pretty much there. I'm on my last few stitch, and I'm gonna go in the very first stitch, and I'm gonna pull it through like this. Now I'm gonna make 2 chains, and then I will be going in this stitch and this stitch, and then this stitch and this. Okay, so I'm going back in the same stitch, and I'm putting loops on my needle. I'm pulling it halfway and pulling it fully through. Go back in your same stitch, your next stitch, in the same stitch, next stitch, okay, now we're gonna add our yellow color. And I'm gonna tie my yellow and green together to tighten it up or to make it secure. There we go. Now I will be working my yellow yarn into my stitch. So I'm gonna go in this stitch, and I'm gonna go over in this stitch like this. Okay, so I'm just gonna continue around like this with a few more rows of these stitch. Okay, so we're almost at the end of this row. Okay, so we're gonna do one last row and then we'll start working on the sleeves. Okay, so now we're gonna start with our sleeve, and I'm gonna go inside where I stitch or mend the sleeves together. I'm gonna make 2 chains, and then I'm gonna go in my next stitch over and in my next stitch over, like this, and I'm gonna go into my next stitch over. So I'm just gonna go into my stitch like this, and we're gonna go around. Okay, so I'm just gonna close this off like this. As you can see, we're pretty much at the end of this green row. Okay, so now we have our yellow, and I'm gonna go in my stitch, and I'm gonna make a total of 2 chains. I'm gonna go back in the same stitch in my next stitch over. Okay, in the same stitch, next stitch, same stitch, next stitch, same, next, same, next. That's how you remember. Same, next, same stitch, next stitch, half, full. Okay, so we're just gonna continue like this, and then we're gonna finish off this row with yellow. Okay, so we're gonna finish up this last row. And this is what your sleeve should look like. And this is around the circumference of your shrug. Are you ready? Okay, let's welcome our model.